The meeting, this is the Commissioners Court of Hood County, Texas, and open pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act. Today is Tuesday, October the 22nd. It's 9 a.m. We're at the Century Jury Room of the Hood County Justice Center at 1200 West Pearl Street. We are very pleased this morning to have with us Bishop Jared Chernerwork and his lovely wife here. That was brought to us again by Dr. Bill Miller, who has arranged the speakers here. And Bishop Chernerwork is the pastor of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints here in Granbury, Texas, and he's going to give the invocation for us this morning. So it's a pleasure meeting both of them. Thank you very much, Bishop, for coming here today.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we're grateful to Thee for this day. We're grateful for this opportunity to meet. Grateful for those who work to improve the lives of those who live within our communities. We pray to Thee that Thou may bless the county judge and the commissioners in their work. We pray that Thou may bless them with inspiration to do those things which are right, to do those things which will continue to bless the people here in the county, that we may be able to continue to receive the blessings that have been bestowed upon us, granted to us by our founding fathers and our ancestors. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to live here in the United States, and most especially here in the state of Texas. We pray that Thou may once again bless these proceedings, bless them, that Thy Spirit may be here, that the work that is done may be according to Thy will. And we pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Y'all join me in the pledge of allegiance to this great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You please join me in the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Bishop, for that very nice invocation. Okay, the next item is the Special Presentation Awards, and the first one is Larry Clearwater. Mr. Lenny?
Yes, sir.
Is this Mr. Larry Clearwater? Does he work for you?
Yes, sir, he does.
Well, he gets a special award that you did, so come on down, Mr. Clearwater.
Mr. Clearwater's been with us for 5 years.
Great, that's perfect. Okay, the next presentation is Reed Durham. We all know Reed Durham, we see him every Tuesday.
Yeah, Reed's here all the time, keeping us safe down here at the Justice Center. So proud to have him, 10 years of service, so. Awesome.
Thank you, Reed. The next guy needs no introduction. It is Dean Armstrong. He's been around here in Granbury for a few years here. Miss Lang?
Yes, he's been with the county for 20 years. It's a long time.
20 years, God. I didn't think you were that old, Dean.
I started when I was 19.
Steve, thank you,
I
Captain.
appreciate it.
Hey, all right, Glenda is recuperating in the hospital. She's still here, is that all right?
Yes, she's still here. I think what we're gonna do when she comes back, we'll kind of build in a work for her for she get a little reputation.
We were all talking to her, she didn't want to leave and have the surgery. She was worried about the county and didn't want to take off.
That is true. I called her yesterday, she's doing fine and recovered real well, but she misses us and we miss her.
Oh, she's a good person. Okay, the next item I'd call everybody's attention to is that if any citizens out here wish to participate on any of the agenda items here, the sheriff has a public participation form that if you'll fill out and give to the sheriff, he'll give to me, and you can, speak for a maximum of 5 minutes on any topic.
We have one more number 5, Vivian,
She is with the DA's office, and they're gonna do a presentation at a different ceremony in another place.
We'll take your word, nothing.
Yeah, so, yes. She's been here 30 years, so we can recognize her, that's a good time too, so. Okay, that brings us to the next item, which is the consent agenda. Does any of the commissioners wish to pull anything off the consent?
Judge, I just got one thing, and I don't know if we need to pull it, but, on the minutes from the last meeting, I'd like to make not a correction, but an addition to, regarding item number 8C8, in which the minutes, are recorded to say that Commissioner Cotton, to approve the HVAC control systems and replace the HVAC system control system, that was passed. However, in addition to that minute, I also added that it would be subject to the county attorney reviewing and approving the contract. And I'd like to have that added to those minutes.
I think that was brought up, was that corrected or added to that, Katie?
I'm writing it in right now.
Okay. It was, I remember that, I said it that motion, didn't
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, you did.
I? So I remember that being part of it, so thank you very much for catching that. We are making, Katie Lane, county clerk is making that addition to the minutes.
Okay.
With that, addendum then, all those in favor of approving,
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda with that one addition.
your second? Second by Commissioner Eagle. So, Commissioner Cotton has made the motion to approve the consent agenda with the addendum of subject to the approval of the county attorney, Matt Mill, second by Commissioner Dave Eagle. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much. Next, we go into the business to be discussed and consider for approval. We have road ops, Mr. Don Lenny. And of course, you have, go ahead, Mr. Lenny, you can say it better than me. You've been doing this for a while.
Good morning, Judge Maxfield, Commissioners. Road Operations has a public hearing for today for y'all to consider establishing stop signs at 3 separate intersections. To begin with, the reason for this request is that Grand Places abuts these intersections, and they've begun with their home developments. So they're trucking right along, and we've got a lot of traffic that's coming through there now. So it's established stop signs on Windcrest Court at Silverton Drive, on Windcrest Drive at Silverton Drive, on White Horse Drive at Silverton Drive, and Eric Creek Drive at Silverton Drive. Gentlemen, Road Operations does recommend this, and we request the judge to open a public hearing to hear any comments for this.
Okay, so at this time, we will open a public hearing to discuss and consider for approval the following proposals that were just read by Mr. Lenny. Do I hear a motion? I think we can consider all of it. It's all on Silverton, so it's stop signs all along Silverton.
Yes, sir. All in precinct 3, I'm sorry.
All in precinct 3. Okay?
We're gonna close the hearing.
Don't we vote on it here, or do we close the
We
hearing?
open up, and then the judge closes it and roll it.
I'll make the motion then, Judge, to establish stop signs on Windcrest Court at Silverton Drive, Windcrest Drive at Silverton Drive, White Horse Drive at Silverton Drive, Arrow Creek Drive at Silverton Drive.
I'll second
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner White to approve the stop signs all along Silverton Drive at Fort Hill, second by Commissioner Dave Eagle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Linda. We're now out of public session back into the regular meeting of the Commissioners Court, and we're here in development. Mr. Clint Head,
Morning, Judge Messenger, Commissioner.
good morning.
Morning. First item is the application's been accepted for a replat of Hideaway Bay Estates, lots 8R and 9R in Block 6 in Precinct 4. Staff recommends setting the public hearing for the November 26, 2019 Commission Court.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that, set a public hearing for Hideaway Bay Estates, lots 8R and 9R, Block 6, for a public hearing on November 26th.
I'll second that, Judge.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Eagle to have the following replat on Hideaway Bay Estates, lots HR and 9R, Block 6. And it's been seconded by Commissioner Beaver, and the date is to be November the 26th of 2019. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Second item is the final plat of Humphrey Edition, Lot 1, Block 1. It's a subdividing of a 2.003 acres tract out of a 43.22 acres tract of the John C. Grace Survey Abstract 190, Hood County, Texas. The property is located in the rural district of Precinct 2 in the southern part of the county and will be served by well and on-site sewer. There are no streets proposed with this subdivision. Staff has reviewed this final plat and recommends approval of the final plat, Humphrey Edition, Lot 1, Block 1, as presented.
Did I make a motion to approve the Humphrey Edition, lot number 1, block number 1, precinct 2?
I hear a second.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cotton to approve the final plat for Humphrey Edition, lot 1, block 1. Second by Commissioner White. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, Mr. Head. Financial, this could be none other than the illustrious Ms. Becky Head.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yours.
All right. You've all received advance copies of payments over $10,000 for both the new and old budget. Are there any questions regarding those payments? Seeing none, we'll move on to actual expenditures for the old and new budget for fiscal year 2019. Expenditures total $446,694.31. For new budget, 2020, expenditures total $536,936.36. Lots of 36s. The auditor's office has reviewed all these invoices and recommends payment.
Any further discussion?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
It's a good deal. All right, motion's been made by Commissioner Cotton to pay the invoices for, in all three sections, the vendor payments over $10,000 and the expenditures for the Commissioners Court for 2019, $446,694.31, and for the October 22nd expenditures for the fiscal year of 2020 of $536,936.36. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Eagle. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next.
Item number 2, we've received financial reports from each department for the period of October 1st through October 15th. All these reports are September, and there is one August amended on this list. The auditor's office has reviewed all these reports for accuracy. We see no problems in accepting these reports.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay. Do I hear any motion? And do we need a motion in regard to these?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to make that motion, consider financial reports received and reviewed by the audit department for the period of October
the audit department for the time period of October 1st, 2019 through October 15th, 2019. Second by Commissioner White. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Ms. Kidd. Okay, this brings us down to miscellaneous. Discuss and take appropriate action regarding Texas Association of Counties Workers' Compensation refund of $146,562 even. Got here any discussion?
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
That's your report. Does this mean we have this money?
We do, we received the overpayment refund from TAC for our workers' compensation. So I've talked to the auditor, and she recommends that we put this in our capital projects account. Because if we put it back in the workers' compensation account, it's just gonna sit there, and we won't be able to do anything with it. So we recommend that you put it in the capital projects account.
Judge, I'll make that motion to accept the workers' compensation refund of $146,562 and put it into the capital fund.
Okay.
Project.
Your second?
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cotton to, of course, accept the refund of $146,562 from the Texas Association of Counties Workers' Compensation Fund and to put it in the capital projects account, seconded by Commissioner White. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, receive an update from Texas A&M AgriLife Extension.
Hey, Don, I'd like to make a comment. I think you need to start coming here every court, because your assistants or people that's kind of running Hood County shoot your dress up and you come down.
Yeah. I've noticed the patches of grass up there. I'd like to first report on those patches of grass. In your opinion, which is the best?
Oh, shoot. They're all green right now, so that's not what I mean.
Thank you, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. As Judge said, my name is Donald Kelm. I'm the District Extension Administrator for Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. Here in District 8, located in Stephenville, and Hood County is one of my 21 counties. Each year, on behalf of Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, I like to come get on the agenda and just tell you face-to-face how much we appreciate the support that Hood County provides the extension program here in the county. Without that support, you wouldn't see the programs, the activities, whether they be adult, whether they be youth, you wouldn't see that happening without that partnership and the support that you provide. Again, I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate it. With the newsletter I bring each year, on the front I like to highlight something that's going on across all 21 counties. On the back I highlight programming that's specific to Hood County. This year I wanted to highlight emergency management. As you know, as a result of the legislative session this past session, Texas Division of Emergency Management is now one of the standalone agencies within the Texas A&M University system. Chief Kidd is now a Vice Chancellor for Emergency Management at Texas A&M, and Texas A&M, or AgriLife Extension's role in emergency management. You can go through and read all the details, but I wanted to highlight back in 2016 with all the floods on the Brazos River, 2017 Hurricane Harvey. Before those, we always, man, I don't have time to do this or go help this or that. But myself and strike teams, 5 agents from my district, in 2016 with the floods on the Brazos, we stood up and operated Animal Supply Point at the Brazoria County Fairgrounds to help as a request from the county judge in Brazoria County. When you see individuals that are affected by the floods with water up to the eaves of their houses and all that stuff, and we check in, check out the animals at the fairgrounds, we take in all the donated items, whether they be animal food, hay or whatever, and then distribute it, and then we do the paperwork checking them out. We did that. There were about 2 or 3 animal supply points set up during the floods in 2016. In 2017, during Hurricane Harvey, unfortunately, myself and one of my strike teams had to go down for a tour at Brazoria County again. And what really hit us hard is we saw the same families bringing in animals to the fairgrounds that we saw the year before. Their houses had just been repaired, and then they were affected again. This time it was triple the number of animals that we had in 2016 during Hurricane Harvey. But I wanted to point out during Hurricane Harvey, when the Governor Abbott, initiated the Rebuild Texas Commission, Chancellor Sharp was made the commissioner. Well, Texas AgriLife Extension Service agents, mainly in those 40-something affected counties in the impact zone down there, were the go-to or liaison person for schools, county governments, municipalities to go to, and then the agent would kind of direct them as far as the paperwork and requests and so forth. And it's still, to today, they're doing, and some of the agents are the contact person to do inspections as a result of FEMA and different things like that. So it has, as a result of the emergencies and the call to duty, AgriLife Extension has stepped up and played its part in those, not only during those floods, but during the wildfires up in the Panhandle a few years ago. The supply points were set up and so forth. Also, as a result of the last session, there's some rebuild or emergency management, disaster mitigation and recovery that Extension will be responsible for, and we will be getting an extension agent emergency management here in District 8 to help, not to do it solely, but to serve as a resource for your county emergency management directors. That person will cover about 3/4 of my counties in District 8 and to work with those emergency management directors. So I'll keep you updated, and we'll have more at the meeting November 6th with some updates, but I'll keep you updated on it.
That's great, good news.
The most important part of my visit today is to tell you what these two, Kelly and Brady, are doing here in Hood County with your support and the partnership we have. And again, Ag and Natural Resources, Brady, just a snapshot of some of the programs that he does. There's a big one that Hood, Johnson, Somerville, and Bosque County do each year, the Centex Beef Cattle Meeting. You can see the number of producers that participate and the evaluation results, the economic impact that those that participated have, as well as the average number of head that each one has in their herd. The water well screening program and the importance of water quality, you can see that. That's an annual event. The herbicide research trials that Brady does with our range technician. There's 3 or 4 of those, and then the one Judge mentioned, the turf grass one right outside the office. You can see that. Those are utilized as an educational tool. Again, y'all know the importance of volunteers in our program, and the Hood County Master Gardener program is a super good program with super volunteers. You can see the number of volunteer hours, and that's 83 Master Gardeners, 6,400 hours, and you multiply that by roughly $22 for the value of a volunteer hour, and that's a lot of money that group donates in time and effort to the extension program here in Hood County. Also, and they just got through with the intern class, so there'll be more Master Gardeners added to that 83. Family Consumer Sciences, Kelly, in a snapshot of her work. The Freezer Club that Kelly's initiated with bringing in individuals to prepare meals and so forth. You can see the number of meals, the number of participants, and it helps families with preparing nutritious meals that are quick and easy. You look at Walk Across Texas, y'all know the importance of health and wellness, physical activities. The number of participants there that walked 14,000 plus miles and the economic impact that has as a result of that participation. Dinner Tonight, that's a regional program that's done between several counties around here and Tarleton State University, and you can see the number of participants. The one really marquee program, the Child Care Conference. Kelly's been chairman of that the last 2 years, and it is, again, a regional program in collaboration with Tarleton. The agents take the lead on it. Tarleton provides the host site and so forth. But that was annually 170-plus individuals, child care providers participate to get their CEUs and their clock hours, and you can see the numbers there. The thing I wanted to bring to your attention, last year, I nominated the Child Care Conference Group for a Superior Service Award, Team Award in Extension, and they were fortunate enough to win that award, and Kelly was a part of that team. And as I said, the chairman the last 2 years. The Better Living for Texans program, it's a program that focuses on nutrition education to our SNAP-Ed recipients, and you can see the number of the participants there, and then the items or the topics discussed. 4-H youth development, you can see the number of clubs in the county, 8 traditional 4-H clubs, the 205 members, which when you compare that 18-19 year to the 17-18, Kelly and Brady were able to increase their 4-H enrollment 105% compared to that year. This year, we're already only September, October, roughly a month and a half into this 4-H year, we're already at 70% enrollment compared to 18 and 19. Livestock projects, you can see the numbers that participate, the number of livestock projects there are, the number that participate at the state shows, Texas 4-H Roundup, the number that participate there, that is the culmination of a year's worth of 4-H participation. That's the state roundup held in College Station in June this year. The Healthy Lifestyle Ambassadors, that's a program where kids are apply for that, 4-Hers apply for that. It's a leadership position statewide. If they get accepted, they go through the training, and then they have to come back and help Kelly and Brady with programming here in the county. You can see the number Healthy Lifestyle Ambassadors that we have. We also have livestock ambassadors that have been a big part of the program in Hood County and continue to give back to the program. The Vet Science program, you can see the 4-H contest, how many participate at the county and the district and the state level. Again, I wouldn't be able to give you these updates if it weren't for your partnership and the support you provide, and I can't thank you enough for that support. On a selfish side, I want to thank you for the support you provide. The annual Judges and Commissioners Conference that I do in Waco each year, that date is November 6th this year. You should have received the registration from my office manager. Hopefully you will attend, and I'll tell you, like I always do, I'll guarantee that lunch. I'll put my neck out on the line for that lunch, and it'll be good. Really excited about the agenda too. There's a lot of good topics on the agenda. So thank y'all very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that report. It's very good, and I know that if Kelly has anything to do with that lunch on November the 6th, it'll be delicious. We need another one, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kelly can cook.
She can cook, and I sure do like it too. So we have very proud of our 2 extension agents here. Kelly and Brady do a great job. Thank you for a great report, and thank you. We look forward to working with you again.
And I'll keep you updated on the emergency management position.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yes.
That's
I like
a subject dear to my heart too.
Yes.
You know, so.
And if I'm not, I've talked to Judge Chambers, and they have a vacant office. We're probably gonna house it there in Glen Rose, but it'll cover 17 out of my 21 counties.
Okay.
Thank y'all very
Great,
much.
thank you very much. Thank both of you, Kelly and Brady, thank y'all. Thank you very much. All right, that's there. Okay, item number 3, Sheriff Deeds. Discuss and consider the sheriff's request to have the Tree of Hope on display at the Justice Center for Saturday, November the 16th, 2019 at 9 a.m. to January the 3rd, 2020. The Tree of Hope event ceremony will be held on night of December 5th, 2019, from 5 to 7 p.m. Sheriff Deeds.
Judge, Commissioners, this will be the 5th year for this event. So Mary Flores is the one heading it up that works for me, the victim assistance person, and she does a fantastic job with everything she does. So this is a celebration. It's for the survivors of domestic violence, assault, stalking, and their families are invited to participate in making special ornaments for the Tree of Hope. Members of the public are encouraged to join us as we honor them. So, like you just stated, the date for the setup will be November 16th. That'll be Saturday. I'll make sure they get in and everything stays safe and sound. And where they've been putting the tree is go out these doors and to the left and down there along the windows, so it'll be out of the way and look good for the holiday season. The event, like you stated, was December 5th, the night from 5 to 7. So we'll make sure that all goes smooth and people get in and people get out. And then the tree will stay up until it's taken down on January 3rd, 2020, about 1:30 to 4:30 or so that day. So we'll get it all taken down then. So I ask your permission to put it up and hold the event, and it'll be a good one. So hope you can all come.
Okay. Any further discussion? You say this is, how many years you've had this?
This will be the 5th year.
The 5th year?
It was started by the county attorney's office when Lori Casper was the county attorney, and Mary's been a part of it for 4 years now.
Well, we hear about domestic violence every day, don't we? Something goes on, so I think this is a worthwhile project. So do I hear a motion in this regard?
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to allow the sheriff to have the Tree of Hope on display at the Justice Center for the dates of November 16th, 2019, at 9 a.m. through January 3rd, 2020.
Okay, do
The
I
Tree
hear
of Hope ceremony will be held the night of December 5th, 2019, from 5 to 7.
I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, motion been made by Commissioner Deaver to allow the sheriff to have the Tree of Hope on the dates as indicated. Second by Commissioner Cotton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Sheriff. It's a good, worthwhile project.
Hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Okay, the next item, discuss and take appropriate action regarding request for wireless priority service from AT&T or Verizon for the county to pay for the service of 4 phones for the JPs, Justice of the Peace Judges, and 7 for the constables of precincts 1, 2, and 4. So, we have the illustrious
Yes,
we're
back again.
Drew Whitaker here, and I see Judge Cotton Howe handling towards the podium too.
Yes, so basically what happened is, of course, we passed the initial batch of 70 phones. And after that, I got a call from Judge Cotton, and of course, he was saying, well, you know, of course, the JPs need phones, and the constables need phones. And of course, I kind of directed him to put it on the agenda and bring it before the court, because the department had asked to make that case, you know, whether or not they need phones, and then you get to approve it or not. I mean, it's easy for me, I just have to talk to the vendor and go, yes, I need, you know, 12 more phones and cases, and we're good to go. But ultimately, you need to approve it. And so,
It's actually 11, and you said 12?
yes,
It was 11?
it'll be, or 11, I apologize.
Maybe you needed an extra one or something.
No, I promise, I'm not gonna try to sneak something in there.
You think this is it? This will be the last of them?
No, to be honest, my initial guess was probably gonna be more towards about 150-ish so phones after it's all said and done, to be honest with you.
Well, I can see the point of the constables and the JPs needed, but who else has something to do with law enforcement and stuff like that? Why would anybody else want them?
I do not know, to be honest with you.
I think we need to kind of draw a line in the sand and say, hey, this is it, law enforcement. It's up to the court to go forward if somebody else wants them, but like you say, everybody thinks they gotta have what somebody else wants, whether you need it or not.
Exactly.
I agree with the constables. We should have added them before, it got overlooked, because they are law enforcement, and they should have been put in with the sheriff department.
Well, my guess was law enforcement, and then I was gonna go as far as saying department heads, because normally they would be on call 24/7 in case something happened. You know, you might have to get a hold of the auditor, you might have to get a hold of the purchasing agent, you might have to get a hold of me, you might have, you know. So that's where I was kind of leaning towards it, but again, ultimately, it's the court's decision on what they want to do. And that is why they're here before you to speak their case, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I think, if anybody else wants any problems, they should come to the court.
And that's what I've been directing anyone that asks me, is please come before the court and make your case, and they get to decide. Because again, we gotta have the budget for it.
Judge, Al, do you have anything you want to?
Well, because of the stipulations that brought all of this about from the legislature this year, most of our communication with law enforcement, with the officers in the field, between the constables and us, and sometimes even going on to the investigators at the Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office. A lot of times we do that through text messages. A lot of times with law enforcement, it's about a specific case or a specific warrant that we've issued or something like that. So the trail of evidence comes right straight to us. And so because of the need to retain all that and to have it available, if it's requested through open records, we just feel like it would be prudent for us to just have one phone where all of that stuff goes, and then we can turn it over if the request is made. The trail of evidence is right there, and so that's why we brought it. That's why we brought it before the court. Myself, I'm speaking for myself and the other three JPs. It was put on the agenda as one line item. Alicia called me and asked me if she needed to split it off. I said, no, just put it on there as one item on the agenda for y'all's convenience, but I'm speaking for the four JPs, and Constable Thrasher is going to speak for the constables. We just did that for y'all's convenience, but I'll be happy to answer any questions y'all have about why we think this is.
The other JPs in are in favor of wanting the phones also?
Yeah, and I request that y'all don't hold it against them that they chose me to be the spokesman.
Bill, do you have anything?
Basically the same thing, sir. We are on the phone constantly with litigants in the court cases, the plaintiffs, the defendants, the attorneys, the other constables' offices and such. Of the four offices, only three requested cell phones, but we use these to talk to each other back and forth on the phone, by text. We talk to the other constables' offices across the state. They will call us because of our expertise, answering questions about civil process and how to do things. And so we're constantly on the phone, using our phones to speak to other agencies and other constables' offices and courts. We felt for the same reason we needed to have them for that purpose.
Do you know why Precinct 3 didn't request phones, or not?
She didn't explain, she just said she wasn't interested in having one. I didn't go any further with it. The one thing that we will say is that we don't need the extra benefits of the mobile hotspots and the other items. We just need the basic phone. Because our MDCs have air cards and the like, so we don't need the extra provisions in there that the others were asking for.
Drew, these come out of your budget?
Yes, sir. I'm guessing they're all gonna come out of the same line that all the others have been coming out of.
How much are this 11 phones gonna cost?
$40 a piece per month for a year. I can't do that math, I apologize.
So it's just $40
Well, it's $40 a device
per
per phone.
$44 for 11 phones, like 444.
Correct. On top of the initial batch of 70.
No, I think in view of the legislation that was passed, y'all need it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any further discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Judge, I'll make that motion to, request for priority service from AT&T or Verizon for the county to pay for service of 4 phones for all the JPs, Justice of Peace, and 7 for the constables precinct 1, 2, and 4.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Deaver to approve the request for the wireless priority service from AT&T for 4 phones for the justices of peace, judges, and 7 for constables in precincts 1, 2, and 4. Second by Commissioner Cotton. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, item number 5, discuss and take appropriate action regarding request for environmental health to purchase a radiation detection device to check loads of metal before shipment. Jean, nice to see you this morning.
Thank you, Judge, nice to be able to commissioners. The metal recycling, of course, all recycling is down right now. But because the collection station accepts all metals without distinction from any materials, we have a high chance of getting the contaminated metals. We've had it in loads before where it was determined on one load it was from old culverts, the buildup of the radiation from it being in the ground, because radiation is naturally occurring. But when I call to have these loads of metal shipped out, we have a charge for them to haul fee. If that load has contaminants in it, they bring it back to us. So we have that charge. And until we can determine what is hot in that load, we're at the mercy of it sitting there. I had the fire marshal before, they have a device, so I'm at the mercy of getting them to come out, and I have to coordinate with RODOX and the fire marshal's office so we can have everyone there. So in that, I would like to propose getting the $1,399 radiation detector plus the shipping, so that once we get ready to ship a load, that device will allow me to check the load and ensure that it's not going to be turned down.
Judge, we've had this issue before when the previous health department person was in here, and he was gonna get one, and he left and kind of died. And we've had this instance before, not just her, it's in the past. I think it's a good idea. It's up to the court to decide to spend this money or not. And I'm gonna ask the person agent, are we good with this? Do we have to do anything else, or?
You need to quote, unless you've got a cooperative or anything.
I just reached out to the company. There's 2 places in the state of Texas that has these devices, and one of them was in Sweetwater and one in Houston. And I reached out to the one in Sweetwater, and had them give me 2 different bids.
Okay. It's the same company then?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I went with the device that the recycling yards use, the brand.
Okay. The only thing that we would be in any kind of violation right now is our own rules forbid it. So you as the court can take action to override that rule if you so wish and accept one bid if they are in fact the same company.
Is this the same one that the fire marshal uses?
No, it's not the same type of device that the fire marshal uses. It is the same type of device that the state radiation department uses.
I got a question. I don't, just I guess a devil's advocate. So we get a load of metal in, or we got stuff we need to take for recycling. and you find something starts clicking, what do you do with it?
A lot of if it's, say it is the pipe, you can actually set that back on, have an area where you quarantine it and check it periodically, because eventually the strength of it will go down and you can properly dispose of it that way. You can also send it, the landfills are allowed to take certain levels of it also, so I can put it in with one of the bulk loads going out, should I need to.
On culverts and pipe that's contaminated, it usually takes 4 to 6 months.
Yes, for it to, eventually the levels to reduce down where it's passable.
When they bring the load back, do we get charged again to take it back, or is that?
Normally, they just charge for the one, but when they come back and get it again, then you're out like $500 on that load of metal that's possibly gonna bring you at this point $150.
Any further discussion? Sounds like it's a pretty good idea.
Yes, I mean, it's a money saving deal. I mean, it's, I guess we need to kind of state, to make the purchaser happy or the court happy. I don't know what we need to do. I'm in favor of this, I just need to figure out how we're going to purchase this.
Just state in there that you allow her to make this purchase with just one quote, and that would be
Okay. Okay. Judge, I'd like to make a motion to allow her to move forward with this one quote. The cost is $13.99 plus shipping, so I'd like to, I don't know how much the shipping's gonna be, but I'd go with $1,500.
Okay, I hear a second.
Okay.
Okay, motion is made by Commissioner Beaver to allow the Environmental Health Department to purchase a radiation detection device that's exactly like the state uses, and for not to exceed $1,500 for cost and shipping, and to allow the department to do this for just one bid for this one device, second by Commissioner White.
It'd be out of Fund 55, Judge.
Out of Fund 55?
I'm sorry, Doctor.
Out of Fund 55?
Yes.
Not out of your pocket, Jenny. All right, so out of Fund 55. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.
Bruce, did you second that, Bruce? Yeah. Not to exceed over $1,500.
Yes, that's what I said. Okay. Item number 6, consider and take appropriate action to increase employee pay from CS 5-5 to CS 7-9. Who's going to speak on that? You have her up here. Andy, does this have anything to do with an assistant tax collector?
My chief deputy, yes.
Good,
Yes.
good. Good morning to you.
Good morning to everyone. I would like to move her from CS 5 to CS 7-9. She's very well capable of doing the job. She's been with us for a long time. And she's almost 7 years she's been with us. So that's what I would like to do for her.
And that's what you were making?
That's what I was making.
So the money is budgeted for?
Yes, it is.
They'll be the chief then.
Yes, for chief deputy.
Which she is very qualified.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
Right, Andy? She's very qualified.
Oh, very qualified, yes. Yes, she is.
This is the lowest.
She's very reliable. She's no one better for her to do.
So that'll leave you an open position somewhere else?
Yes, it is. It'll leave me, everybody's been moved up, and it'll leave me in one title clerk.
Any further discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, Judge, I'd like to make this motion to move an employee from CS 5-5 to CS 7-9 to the, I guess, the assistant tax assessor.
Assistant, yes.
And like to make it retroactive October the 14th.
Second.
Okay. I think the motion has been made by Commissioner Deaver to increase the employee pay from CS 5-5 to CS 7-9, retroactive to October what, which you got?
14.
2019. Second by Commissioner Cotton. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you.
Okay, next, consider, I think this next deal is the best deal that we have in the county, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Consider and take appropriate action regarding the tax assessor collector's request for an employee bilingual certification.
Yes.
Explain that to us, please.
She is bilingual. When we have customers that come in that do not speak English, we call her. She's now over in the Acton location, so she'll be covering both offices. And it helps a lot instead of having them leave and bring somebody else back with them, or pick up the phone, have them call somebody else that can speak English. So we would really like to get her certified for that.
Good.
How does that work if she's in Acton and somebody comes in and annex one?
We pick up the phone and call her.
Oh, she talked to her.
She talks to them over the phone and tells us.
Has she already passed the certification?
No, but I don't think she will fail it. She's gonna take the course.
Tell us how much that's going to cost the county.
It is $120 for the testing.
And then the increase in salary will be,
$23.08 every pay period.
boy, that, I wish we could get some bilingual people to do this in the courts for that cost too. That would be a heck of a deal, so anyway.
Y'all can call her.
Yeah, if we can't hire her, okay.
Yes, I have the line.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to make this motion again, to consider take appropriate action regarding tax assessor collector's request for employee bilingual certification at 23.08 per pay period, retroactive October 14th.
And I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Deaver to have the request approved for an employee bilingual certification at the gigantic rate of $23.06 a pay period retroactive to October the 14th of 2019, second by Commissioner Cotton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Andy. Okay. This brings us to item 8, consider and take appropriate action to approve request for human resources and purchasing to create and issue a classification compensation study. Good morning.
Court. This was actually addressed back in June, and the court felt very adamant about pursuing this study. I wanted to wait until the budget had passed. We've got our new budget in place. We've got our new step and grade plan in place. I need the court's permission to work with purchasing so that we can get the RFP ready to go out and seek proposals.
Auditor, I think we earmarked some money for that last year. So,
That's why I have my laptop.
yeah, there you go. I think it's like $40,000. I can't remember.
What I believe we were going to do last year was use the historical commission money. We had not spent any of that.
Yes.
That's what we were going to do last year. We have the same budget this year, but I believe I can find it in contract services and
Okay.
general administration fund. But I'll find it.
Okay. And I guess we need to, that was kind of the quote we got last year. I guess we kind of need to get an estimate of what it's gonna cost, for whatever company we use. And is there anything we have to go through purchasing to do this also?
Yes, it has to be competitively bid if it's over 50. If it's not, then you can do quotes from different vendors, but you have to make sure that they can supply what you need, and they are actually gonna do that job. Melissa and I weren't sure. I've solicited RFPs from other counties that have done this, and have given them to Melissa to look over to see what she thinks might fit the need, so we can competitively bid it. It doesn't matter that it's not 50,000. It's just gonna be a matter of taking more time.
Okay. And here's the time frame. me and the judge was kind of discussing this earlier, we need to get this ASAP for our next budget, so we can have some numbers. So
Yes.
we need to move forward, if the court decides to move in that direction.
And we wanted to make this comprehensive, that we did it for every paid position within the county.
Yes.
Because there were two different times that we discussed it back in June. One was just for some of the offices, compensation or some of the positions, and not all of them. But we really did want to do it so we could be fair with everybody in the county, so that we could make sure that the bids are going from apples to apples, not apples to oranges, and that it's going to include everybody in the county. Isn't that what we discussed too? So be sure
Every paid
that,
position within the
Right.
county, okay.
okay. So do I hear a motion in this regard here for Melissa to move forward? with-
So moved.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Deaver for Human Resources and Purchasing to take appropriate action to create and issue a classification, compensation study, all-inclusive. And do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner White. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much. Next, item number 9, consider and take appropriate action to approve renovating/updating the Human Resources Department by adding a window to one office. Facility maintenance will do the work for less than $500. Where is Jake Riley today? Is he working?
He's working on the air conditioning.
Keep it.
He's trying to get it over in here.
He's trying to turn the heaters on.
Thank you.
He sent me a text to tell you that.
Done. I appreciate that, Mr. McDonald. Thank you very much. Okay. Tell us about that, please.
Yes, thank you. We do have one office in the HR department that does not have a window in that particular office. I would like to, with your permission, have maintenance install that window in that particular office, just so that it allows the community and employees to know that there's actually someone in that office. It's a little secluded without that window being there, and we're not able for anyone to see in, nor is anyone inside the office able to see out.
Is it gonna be about the same size as,
The exact same size as the other two windows, yes.
a good idea?
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion, Judge, to allow the facility maintenance department to renovate the Human Resources Department by adding a window to one office for not to exceed $500.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner White to add a window to one office at the Human Resources Department, second by Commissioner Deaver, to be valued by. Dave. I'm sorry, Commissioner Eagle. And that facility maintenance will do this job for less than $500. So Mr. Riley's not here to oppose, so let's go ahead and put the burden on him. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Melissa. All right. Well, you are commandeering our whole agenda here. Item number 10, consider and take appropriate action to approve reclassification of the HR Chief Deputy position, pay grade CS9 to HR Generalist, pay grade CS7, salary not to exceed CS7-6 for the 2019-2020 year. Please explain that.
Yes, sir. Currently, that position was classified as CS9. With the moving around in the HR office, that position will no longer have the duties that it originally had. And so I think it's only right to reclassify that position to a CS7. That is more across the board with the other assistants within this county. And I think that it just lines up better with our other assistants in each office.
You've rewritten the job description for that job, haven't you?
Yes, sir. The job description was never actually addressed with the reclassification 2 years ago. Not so much that the duties may not change. I expect the assistant will be able to do any duty asked of them. However, they will not have the responsibilities on a daily basis to do those duties.
Question for you, Melissa.
Yes, sir.
These job descriptions, are these approved by the court?
No, sir, our job descriptions are not approved by the court. Usually the supervisor just contacts me, I send them the job description I have on file, and they revise it and send it back to me.
Let me ask something, should they be approved by the court?
That would be at the court's discretion. Sometimes we change job descriptions very frequent, so it could mean that it could stall posting a position if we wait for the court to approve it. However, you might find that it behooves the county to review each job description. I would have to leave that up to the court.
Thank you.
And that would save the county some money, wouldn't it?
The reclassification?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
approximately about 8,000 a year.
About 8,600, yes.
Well, we know that you run the department very efficiently, so I hear,
Judge, I'll make that motion to approve a reclassification of the HR Chief Deputy position pay grade CS9 to HR Generalist pay grade CS7, salary not to exceed CS7-6 for the 2019-2020 year.
I hear a second to that motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner, you're closer to Commissioner White. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 11, acknowledge and accept the 2019 review of Constable Precinct 3 financial records. Ms. Kidd.
Hello again. We have reviewed all the financial records for Constable Precinct 3. There were no issues, problems, and we recommend accepting this report.
Okay, any further discussion? Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right. Motion's been made by Commissioner Deaver to accept the 2019 review of Constable Precinct 3 financial records, seconded by Commissioner White. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Next item, accept and acknowledge and accept the 2019 review of Constable Precinct 4 financial records.
We have reviewed all their financial transactions and records and recommend approving this report or accepting this report. No problems with it.
Okay, any further discussion? Do I hear a motion to accept the 2019 review of Constable Precinct 4 financial records?
So moved.
Is that Commissioner Eagles?
Yes, sir.
Motion's been made to that effect by Commissioner Eagles, second by
I'll second that, Judge.
Commissioner Deaver. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Item number 13, consider and take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign the 2019 formula grant request application resolution for the Indigent Defense Grant Program. Okay, I understand that, that Ms. Kidd will send a form to them, and then they will send me back something that I have to sign, so.
Yes, sir. We are working on their indigent report. It is a comprehensive report of all the indigent fees and pays to attorneys for the year 2019.
And this is where we get, the county gets money back, correct?
Yes, sir. I would like for it to be about half what we spend. That would be awesome because we spend, upwards to $500,000 on indigent attorney fees. So this is a comprehensive report outlining every attorney and what they were paid for. So once we get that filed and they bless it, they have to look over it, make sure there's nothing categorized wrong. And once they bless it, then you will be able to request the formula grant for the next year. I believe we get 30,000, between 30 and 40,000.
Is that what we got last year?
That's approximately what we get, but it's absolutely worth it. We certainly don't want to not do this, but it is a comprehensive report and I am working on it as we speak.
Good. So you're gonna get with Alicia in my office to make sure that I sign this application? It is a time limit deal, isn't it?
Well, you sign the application online. I submit the report, and once it's submitted and they say, okay, then you'll do your part, sir.
I don't want
Make
this
sure
money.
you have everything you need.
Right. Be sure to tell me and remind me, so I gotta sign something, I think, in order for us to get the 30 or 35,000.
Yes, sir. I will not let the ball get dropped.
Okay, good deal. Thank you very much. So, do I hear a motion to take appropriate action to authorize the county judge to sign the 2019 Homeland Grant Request Application Resolution for the Indigent Defense Grant Program?
So moved.
All right, I hear a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Eagle. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, the next item is 14, to discuss and take appropriate action to determine part-time pay for the fire marshal. Since this involves personnel matters, I'm going to adjourn into executive session so this can be discussed and worked out. So pursuant to Government Code 55551-076, we're going to adjourn into executive session now. Anyway, we are back here into the Commissioners Court meeting and having discussed the fire marshal's position. And we have come up with, and we've got some motions that we need to make. We don't know the outcome of anything, but we've got the issues. That's half the problem. So the first motion that we need is a motion to accept C.G. Montemore's de facto resignation as the fire marshal as of October the 14th, 2019. We don't actually have a written resignation from her, but she's told all of us, and it's been in the newspapers, and she's taken another job, so we're going to call it the de facto resignation as of October the 14th of 2019. So that's the motion that's on the floor. Do I?
Also move.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Cotton to accept C.G. Montemore's de facto resignation as fire marshal as of October the 14th, 2019, second by Commissioner Dave Eagle. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The next motion we need is to hire C.G. Montemore as a part-time employee of the Fire Marshal's Department at the rate of $30.28 per hour, and she is to work no more than 24 hours per week. She works more than 24 hours per week. That brings in a lot of other implications into effect, and so it has to be kept at that. But she has told the sheriff and me that she is willing to help the department and would work part-time until we can, at least through the meetings that we have coming up with FEMA and other deals, she was very considerate of that effect. And so do I hear a motion to hire C.G. Montemore as a part-time employee of the fire department at the rate of $30.28 per hour to work no more than 24 hours per week?
So moved.
Okay, we have the motion's been made by Commissioner White. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Eagle. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next item to be discussed is that until a fire marshal is hired, that Sheriff Roger Deeds be the interim fire marshal of Hood County. And
Judge, I'll make a motion to appoint Sheriff Roger Deeds as the interim fire marshal until such time as we hire a a full-time fire marshal.
Okay, we got here a second.
I'll say.
Okay, motion been made by Commissioner Cotton to hire Roger Dees as the interim fire marshal until a fire marshal of Hood County is hired, second by Commissioner Deaver. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 5-0.
Hey, Your Honor, I got a small correction to make on our second item.
Okay?
I think that we need to add to that, part-time until such time as we hire a fire marshal, the CG's part-time.
In the fire department?
Yes.
Okay.
In other words, we made a motion to, hire her part-time, no more than 24 hours a week at $30.28 an hour, but we need to add until such time as we hire a full-time fire marshal.
Okay.
And that, with that caveat.
Okay, but the other caveat to that is that CG Montemor is a certified patrol deputy, is she not?
She is.
And she has worked well with y'all, and you have the authority within the sheriff's department then to hire her under as a part-time deputy as well. Is that correct?
Under the fire marshal's office, there's part-time pay, but we've never set anything up under the sheriff's office, so.
Yeah. Well, under the correction that we say is that as soon as we hire a full-time fire marshal, that she is to no longer work as a part-time employee of the fire marshal's department.
She would go, when the fire marshal was hired, she would stay on as part-time if she so desires, and she'd work at the regular part-time rate of pay for the deputies that take on call.
As a deputy,
As a deputy.
not as an employee of the fire department.
It'd be still an employee, a part-time employee of the fire marshal's office.
But that'd be up to the new fire marshal to decide that.
That's true, but you're
As long as the sheriff is an interim, he can use her as he pleases,
Yeah.
pleases. Maybe 6 months, it may be 2 months until we find a full-time fire marshal.
Right. All right.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
So I don't think we need to do anything, you, Dave. I think we're good.
Well, just that we're not saying we're hiring her as a part-time forever. Until such time as we find a fire marshal, then she's on her own to deal with the sheriff or the new fire marshal. That's what I'm saying.
Correct. Okay. With that understanding, that we still, is the motion still good at 5-0?
Yes.
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 Everybody agrees? Okay. All right. The last item is that we're directing Melissa, head of the Department of Human Resources, to post the position for the Hood County Fire Marshal.
I'll make that motion, then that's gonna be effective immediately.
Right.
Yes.
To be effective immediately. So the motion is made by Commissioner Cotton,
I'll second that.
directing the Department of Human Resources to post the position for Hood County Fire Department, second by Commissioner Deaver. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 5-0. I think that concludes all the business for today. If somebody says anything, and if you do, you get to buy pizzas for all of us at Dave Eagle's place. Dave, I gave away 50 pizzas for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We adjourn.